In JavaScript, there are if conditional statements, else if, including the switch and the ternary conditional statement. But in today's video, we are going to focus on the syntax of the if conditional statement, of which in the upcoming video, we are going to expand it to the if-else conditional statement, followed up with other videos that will showcase other conditional statements in JavaScript. So now to begin with the syntax of the if conditional statement. As you see here now, for you to write an if conditional statement in JavaScript, you will first of all come up with the if letter, then followed by parentheses. And at the back of the parentheses, you come up with your curly bracket. And I will advise you structure it like this. So this, as you see here in my screen, is what we call the syntax of the if conditional statement in JavaScript. Now, let's come up here now and declare a variable, which I'm going to say let age equals to 16. And don't forget to enclose it with semicolon. And now come down and declare another variable, which I'm going to call text is equals to a string, which is going to be you are eligible to drive, and enclose with semicolon also. And with this, if I now come here now, inside the parentheses of the if syntax, I will now say age, and now followed with comparison operator, which is going to be lesser than 18. And with this, I now come inside here and come up with a text code, which I'm going to say text is equals to you are not eligible to drive, and also semicolon. So, and with this, what I am really saying here is, if 16 is less than 18, that this text inside this if statement should display. So as you see that 16 is lesser than 18, that means that this code inside here will display. So for that, let us come up here and define a paragraph, which I am going to give an ID of demo. And now, if I come down here now and say documents.getElements by ID, then parentheses, and inside this parentheses, I will come up with double quotes, which I'm going to write in between the double quotes the name that I gave that paragraph, and in this case, I gave it the ID of demo. So after this, I come over to this side and say dot inner HTML is equals to text, then followed with semicolon. So as it is here now, what I compared here, like I mentioned shortly, is if the age 16 is lesser than 18, that this code here should display. As you see, this is the first choice it's going to look into. If it compares and found out that yes, 16 is lesser than 18, then this code inside here will display. But if it's not less than 18, then the one up here will display. So for that, if I save this code now and go back to my web page, then here on my web page, you can now see that it says you are not eligible to drive. And that is because here, age is 16, which is lesser than 18. And the code text it displays is you are not eligible to drive. But what if the age is 18? So here, as I have changed the age from 16 to 18, and you know that 18 is not less than 18. So for that, if I happen to save this like this now and go back to my web page, you will see that the if conditional statement will compare if the age is less than 18. I'm going to change this text a little bit. And for that, if I happen to compare these conditions now, then the text outside the if statement is the one that is going to display. So save it and go back to your web page. As you see here on our web page, it says you are not eligible to drive. And that is because here on our code, 18 is not less than 18, but rather it's equals to 18. So for us to structure it properly, what we are going to do is to add the equals to sign here. And this equals to sign means it is going to compare if the age is less than 18 or equals to 18. So in this case, it is equals to 18. And because it is equals to 18, that means the text inside the if statement is what is going to display. So save it and go back to your web page again. And here, as you can see, it has now changed to you are eligible to drive, because it has compared and found out that the age of the person is equals to the compared number. Okay, so what if the age is bigger than the compared number? Maybe let's say that the age is 20 and you want to see how the conditional statement will display it with the age being 20. So here now, as you can see, if I happen to clean out this equals to and go ahead to save it, and that means it's going to compare if the age is less than 18. And in this case, age is not less than 18 because the age is 20, which means it's bigger than 18. And for that, we are going to change this comparison operator from lesser than to greater than. So this is the sign of the greater than. So the condition here is if age is greater than 18, and you know that 20 is greater than 18. So that means if age is greater than 18, then it should display this code inside here. So if I happen to go ahead and save it again, then go back to my web page. So here on my web page, as you can see, it displays you are eligible to drive because the age of the person is bigger than the compared number, which is 18. So, and now this is where the else statement in JavaScript comes in. And that means that if this if conditional statement compared these two numbers and found out that the comparison operator you use is not greater than, but rather lesser than, which means that if age is lesser than 18, and in this case, you know that age is not lesser than 18, that age is greater than 18. So now, if it compares it and found out that the age is greater than 18, then it's not going to display the first choice of the code, which is this one, but rather it will display the code that it finds inside the else statement, which is going to be the focus of the next video. Okay, so for that, I say thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next videos. And don't forget to drop a comment, like and share this video, and follow me for more content like this.